Despite the weather, believe it or not, it is April.
And we're still going to be celebrating all things Western New York. Welcome to commUNITY. I'm Claudine Ewing.
And I'm Pete Gallivan, and this is Peter Marlette Jr., who's bringing pro soccer back to Buffalo.
That's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me.
This is, I think we were talking a little while ago that when you first announced it, I'm like, yeah, really? The Stallions, the Blizzard. But this is, I think this is the first pro outdoor team Buffalo's had.
That's exactly right. The Stallions and Blizzards, that was great, but that was arena soccer. That was in a hockey rink. This is a different sport than that is, and truthfully, this is a different time in Buffalo and in this country for the sport of soccer.
Why is Buffalo ready for pro soccer?
Frankly, Buffalo's been ready for pro soccer. If you look at all the demographic indicators of a city that will have successful pro soccer teams, Buffalo matches up with them perfectly, and that's why USL, the league that we're entering, was so motivated to get a team here.
Yeah, and there are no cornfields out there, but this is your field of dreams, isn't it?
That's exactly right. Yeah, we'll be building the stadium right behind us here, shovels in the ground this summer, and a goal of playing in 2026.
Tell me about the whole process of deciding on this location.
Yeah, well, it started a year and a half ago, identifying every feasible stadium location basically in Western New York. And there were plenty of options. One thing that became very apparent, and this is true throughout the country, is that a soccer stadium should be in the city that it is representing. You find that suburban and exurban stadiums don't really do it in professional soccer, truthfully. It's an urban demographic, urban sport, and we want to be as close to the urban center as we can be, and I think it's going to be great.
Obviously concerns about the air quality and some environmental issues. How are you all handling that?
Well, that was something that was probably the first consideration at this site, is we needed to make sure that it was safe. It was successfully remediated and rezoned for recreational use years ago. And the DEC even yesterday reported that the air quality is in compliance and safe to play at. And South Buffalo Development, who owns the site that we're looking at here, has been doing voluntary independent air quality monitoring for over a year now. Everything is safe, everything checks out, but we dug really deep into that because frankly, we had the same questions that everybody else did, and all the data and everything else shows us that this is the place to be. We also, this field, has been used for youth sports and recreational sports for a long time now, including our academy, the Buffalo Pro Soccer Academy. They train here four nights a week, play games here once or twice a week, so they're out here, they're the most frequent user of this field. Talk to those coaches, talk to that group, and they love it here.
How gratifying is it for you to be able to bring pro soccer back home?
It's the best. I grew up in Buffalo, but my career path had to take me away for a while. And while I got unbelievable experiences and loved them and am able to bring them back to Buffalo now, I would love for the next person who wants to build their career in professional soccer in Buffalo, whether that's on the field, and we will produce pros here who are playing for us in Buffalo, but also in the front office or whatever that may be, to have the path here in our city and to have their first internship, work experience, opportunities, whatever it may be, here in Buffalo.
And what a run for the University at Buffalo women's basketball team. In front of a record crowd of nearly 6,000 at Alumni Arena, they won the WNIT. Coaches say this team of ladies was different, and different they were, national champs.
The hometown kid is a WNIT champion, Nolani Cornfield.
I've been away from home almost my whole college career. My parents only being able to make very few games, having to catch a flight, figure out different dates, and then having them been able to come to every home game 50 minutes down the road. I mean, it was everything for me.
Is that what's going through your mind right here?
Yes, I mean, and my family knows how hard I've worked throughout the year, the ups and downs that come with playing the sport of basketball, playing any sport, and it was just all my hard work, and Coach Burke knows that, like, I came here to win a championship, and that's the reason why she brought me here, and I wasn't going to leave without one. It wasn't a MAC tournament, but I'll take a national one. So, I mean, it was everything. We worked so hard. I worked so hard. My teammates worked so hard. I mean, watching all of us, watching them individually work for that exact moment, I mean, it was everything. I mean, I hope that I showed younger Indigenous kids what they can very much do, because I know how much talent there is on the reservation and wherever else, and even kids just from smaller towns. Like, I mean, there's no ceiling. If you want to do whatever, go wherever, just work for it.
On Saturday at council, we recognized her and honored her for her achievements. That's a great thing, to have one of our own to be able to reach that level of success in regards to sport. And, I think we had a nice little video for her and recognized her at the council meeting. Her family was there, and so it was nice. It was really good, and I'm really proud of her. And certainly all of our folks that have achievements. We recognized a few people that day. Justin Hemphill from Damon College as well, and Ty Bowen Colatita from our Allegheny territory, who had a lot to do with the starting of the lacrosse program at Pitt Bradford. Cool. And so, honoring our people and recognizing them is important to me, and it's certainly important to our council as well.
You've always been big on giving kids a path forward and giving them hope. And this has got to send a tremendous message to young people on the nation as well.
Yeah, it's inspiring, and that's what we have to do. We have to inspire our people to believe in themselves and to be able to achieve beyond what their belief is. And I think our people have that quality. We've shown it throughout generations. Our resilience in regards to overcoming, the setbacks or challenges that we face as Native people. And so, I try to encourage that as much as I can.
Special recognition for Akron Elementary School student Honor Smoke. She has been named Erie County Citizen of the month of April. She made history, becoming the youngest athlete ever to appear on the cover of a special edition of Sports Illustrated.
I started wrestling 3 years ago. I would always wrestle around with my sisters around the house. It would be really fun. And we just decided to try out wrestling because there was an Akron Wrestling Club for rec. And we just decided to try it, and we just kept wrestling since that.
How did you get so good at it?
A lot of commitment and hard work. That just cut me the good wrestler I am today.
Congrats, Honor, and we hope you reach your dream of making it to the Olympics.
Coming up, we're going inside Nativity Miguel School.
And a new compassion center for grieving children, and we'll take you to the Botillion.
Welcome back to Community. Now a story about new life for a school that's been around for decades.
The school is the Nativity Miguel School in Buffalo.
Nativity Miguel Middle School of Buffalo.
We're the only Catholic middle school in Buffalo that is independent.
The small school, not associated with the parish, has been around for 20 years.
It's a secret that should not be a secret.
There were once two campuses dividing the girls and the boys. Now they're combined. This is one of over 50 Nativity Miguel schools across the nation.
Which was started in the 70s by the Jesuits to erase barriers of access to private education and faith-based education.
The location on Hastings Avenue serves grades 5 through 8, but there's a new location when the school starts in the fall.
We're going to be moving to 128 Wilson Street, which is the old St. Stanislaus School building over near Broadway and Fillmore District. So I'm super excited to be in that community, staying in the east side of Buffalo, even though we do have families from multiple zip codes around Buffalo.
There will be more opportunities for programs.
What sets this school apart? Because you have an enrollment of just 62 students.
15 kids per grade. Numbers matter to how you're able to support a kid. We pride ourselves on the way to support a kid, but the class size is a conduit for us being successful in that.
Access.
It's a private, independent Catholic school. So I liken that similar to the structure of some of our high schools. Canisius High School, St. Joe's, Sacred Heart, Nardin Academy. Those schools, private, independent Catholics, accredited in that way.
And success.
We have doctors who are just finished their dissertation in med school, went to Ivy League school, starting their own business for cell research and cancer research. I also have graduates who are finding success as nurses and as teachers.
Here, the school day starts at 7:45 a.m., ends at 4:30 p.m. And academically?
Our graduation rate for the last 2 years at private high schools, for the last 2 graduating senior classes, has been 100%, which is pretty amazing.
The average family pays $500 a year for tuition.
Nativity Miguel is a 100% all scholarship model. So between our donors, between Bison Fund, and between our own funds, Nativity Miguel, the majority of families with their finances, because we have levels of finance that help tier them, pay $500.
Quality, care, commitment after graduation are really important.
We are here to serve and to walk with families. We're not for everybody, and no school ever is. But we're here.
And as we've seen a charter school recently close, Nativity Miguel's head of school says they are about serving students.
What I think Nativity Miguel does really well is that they don't just teach a kid, they help a kid grow through everything. And they're able to do that because it's so small.
Now on commUNITY, we're going to show you a new place for caring and compassion.
Here's Alyssa Quazell.
Here we go.
These hallways,
Okay, follow us to the navigators.
and these rooms are filled with compassion and hope for connection.
This is a first of its kind from a peer support model standpoint in Western New York.
The Western New York Compassion Connection Center for Grieving Children and Families opened this month.
The word compassion means quite literally to suffer together, so it was the perfect word, and connection. This is a peer support grief center.
Gwen Myziak founded the center alongside co-founder Jonathan McGrath.
Peer support it's a little bit different than what you'd think a clinical model would be. This is quite literally a gathering place for people who have lost somebody.
For Gwen and Jonathan, it's personal.
This is our kind of main parent adult meeting room. Very honored. This is dedicated to my husband, Tom.
A room in the center is dedicated to Gwen's late husband. And for Jonathan, there's a dedication to his late son.
This corner is actually dedicated to my son, Cooper. As I said and mentioned before, he was 2 when he passed from a terminal brain tumor.
And they're hoping that the center's impact will go far beyond the walls.
It is a twofold approach with Western New York Compassion Connection and offering families a safe space to come, children, but then also taking this mission and mobilizing it out into the community where our grievers live.
The next step for the center is extending their reach by recruiting volunteers. For commUNITY, Alyssa Quazell, Channel 2 News.
All right, girl.
In Mariah Carriero's classroom at Aspire of Western New York, no 2 days look the same. She works one-on-one with each student, making sure every lesson fits their needs.
1, 2, 3. It is literally so different every single day. I mean, we plan for what we expect to happen, but it's always up to the kids. Keep going.
That could mean using pom-poms to learn colors and numbers, or hands-on speech and physical therapy.
What's this one?
Some kids, like Hannah, are working on their pencil grip.
Square.
Others are still learning how to hold it.
It's pretty individualized and just getting them familiar with the different materials we use in school, like markers, glue.
For Hannah, technology is a game changer.
Book. You want a book?
It helps her communicate in a way that makes sense for her.
No. And even if they are verbal, sometimes it just helps to also have that auditory aspect and be hearing the words a lot to then hopefully increase the opportunity for them to say it on their own later.
And you can see that right here in action.
Or you can talk about my friends. All of your friends. Okay, ready?
And while Mikey works on building strength, other students rely on physical therapy to help them move, whether that's using a wheelchair or a power chair. And for Mariah, it's not just her job, it's her joy.
The tickles and the hugs and the giggles that I get to experience all day, on top of obviously seeing them work towards and accomplish the goals that we set for them. It really is incredible to know that we're making an impact on these kids that can affect them for the rest of their lives. I couldn't be happier when I have those moments happen.
Check out the bows. The 2025 Botillion was put on by the Buffalo chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated.
They participate in a 6-month long program. Each month they participate in a workshop from everything from financial literacy to etiquette, public speaking, things that will enable them to go out into the world and be successful in their chosen fields and to be leaders in the community.
The next Botillion is in 2 years.
You're going to see me on Community right here. I'm George Wallace, Channel 2. Stay right there. Don't you go nowhere.
Welcome back to Community. And now time for a few laughs with funny man George Wallace.
I had a chance to sit down with him. You may be surprised about his ties to Jerry Seinfeld. When you perform, what is it that you want to give an audience?
Laughter and joy, and forget about everything. Forget about your worries, forget about your cares. Leave your worries on the doorstep. We're at a comedy show, and leave your problems at your door. We talk about anybody and everybody. I mean anybody and everybody at my show. We have a good time. I'll never embarrass anybody, but we're going to have a good time.
That is something that holds people back sometimes, feeling like, oh, if I'm on the front row, they're going to call me out, they're going to embarrass me.
Well, you know, if you sit on the front row, somebody's going to talk about you, but you know, it's a comedy show, so it's going to be fun. And I hope people that go to comedy shows enjoy themselves. If I were to go to a comedy show, I would sit in the back just because I'm a comedian and watching. But if I was a regular person, I like to sit within the first 3 rows. Yeah, I like to be that close.
You've been in this game for a long time.
Not long, about 48 years, longer than you've been alive.
Oh, well, thank you for the compliment.
But of course, you're only 35.
Thank you, I'll take that too.
Okay.
It is a little gray right here, but it's okay.
Gray there, that's great. Look at all of that gray. I don't take my hat off because they say I look like Lou Nail's mama.
But 48 years you've been doing this. Comedy has changed over the years. Would you agree with that?
It has somewhat changed. The most change has been social media, of course. Basically, the laughter, the poking fun, and well, some things have changed, the cancel culture and things like that. That did occur. But most of all, we're still telling jokes, and jokes are, even with the cancel culture, I don't think any comedian quit.
Can we talk about Clean Slate?
My new TV show,
Yes.
Clean Slate. I'm so happy you brought that up because that's the most exciting thing in my life right now. Clean Slate. It's a project I've wanted to do for years. It's basically, I wanted to reboot Sanford and Son. And basically I just wanted to hear, because that music makes you feel good no matter what. Even if you're not watching the show, that music makes you feel good. Thank you, Quincy Jones. And also I went to my friend Norman Lear. Clean Slate is the last project that Norman Lear produced at 100 years old. He died at 101 just last year. My character is that I have to learn to live and let live and let people be who they want to be. And as I'm learning a part of her life, about her story, America's also being educated with me. That's why we call the show Clean Slate. Everybody can start over. There's room for forgiveness. There's room for tolerance. It's a clean slate. When I started, there were less than 50 comedians in the world. 1976, less than 50 comedians in the world. And I walked into a club called Catch a Rising Star. Me and a little Jewish boy, and I think his name's Steinfeld, something like that. Something like that.
Some guy you seem to know really well.
Well, I've been knowing him for going on 49 years. Can't get rid of him. I don't know. A lot of people don't even know. I'm the real George roommate on the show. I was his roommate for 13 years and best man at his wedding and the father of his kids, so we're pretty tight.
I think it speaks volumes in itself.
It really does, doesn't it? And just people just go, why are they friends? It's just something that happened. We became friends. I had a car. So when you got a car in New York, people want to ride around with you. He got sick one night and I took him to, because you know, everybody knows what's wrong with you. If you get sick, what you need to do. He got very ill one night with a cold, and I took him to the only all-night drugstore in New York at the time, and I got him some NyQuil. And I said, now it says take 1 capful, you take 2. You're gonna be fine in the morning. And so after I nursed him, and the next morning he was back up again, me strong. And so we just been friends and stuck together, hung out together. and I lived in Queens, and that's when I said, might as well start living over here in Manhattan. So we became roommates, and we've been great friends ever since. I was the best man at his wedding. I was pallbearer at his mom's funeral. I've done a lot with him. Everything, whatever he does today, I do it with him.
Yeah, that's
So
something.
that's a very good, I wish everybody had a friend like Jerry Seinfeld.
That's real friendship.
Real friendship. We can get together and don't even talk.
You can see the extended George Wallace interview on WGRZ.com.
So the great Buffalo jazz musician Pappy Martin founded the Love Supreme School of Music in 2001 to improve their academic performances and to contribute to their overall well-being. We all know this is true. Pappy's daughter, Dawn Martin Barry Walker, who is our guest of honor here tonight, reopened, yeah, bring that love, bring it. These are good people doing good stuff. Dawn reopened the school in 2019. Last year, our foundation, the Sportsman's Americana Music Foundation, teamed with the Community Foundation for Greater Buffalo, which administers the Ralph Wilson Foundation Arts and Culture Initiative money, to award a $15,000 grant to the Love Supreme School.
We offer free music lessons to now about 110 students taking piano, trumpet, saxophone, guitar, drums, and vocals. It is not just a music school, it is teaching them about their culture, their history, and their sense of intrinsic value, and that they have something to give to the world.
We have incorporated a few new programs this year that involve having regular master classes, which we call office hours, and allowing the students to not only participate in the events ensemble work that we're doing with them, but also to foster an environment where they can start their own music initiatives.
Thanks for joining us for another jam-packed show of Community for the month of April.
Yeah, look at this. Can you believe we'll be playing soccer in a year right outside here?
How exciting. Go Buffalo for sure.